Hello, Misha.
Hi.
My name is Shyla.
Hi, Shyla.
Hi, and Shyla is not spelled at all the way it's pronounced.
I was going to ask you about that. So it's not S-H-Y-L-A-A.
Actually, it's spelled like Sheila, but it's supposed to be Shyla, and someone in my family just didn't know how to spell real well.
That's good. You've had a tough road to hoe, haven't you? You've had to explain that many tens of thousands of times.
Exactly.
Have you ever thought about just being Sheila?
Never.
It's a quick fix.
I'm Shyla.
I'm going to call you Sheila. That's how you spell it. I'm sorry. I'm sort of stickler for the rules. Phonetic rules, you know.
Nisha, can I ask you?
Touche, Sheila, touche. I don't know if it was an act of defiance or what, but my grandmother has always called me Misha. And I think it might be, she was a teacher, and I think there's a part of her who's like, all right, you're going to spell it that way? And I'm going to call it Misha.
Well, my question is, how did you adjust, or when did you finally adjust to people mispronouncing your name, or...
Oh, that's what we're going to talk about. That's actually... I thought we were on some little side thing, but we're actually getting right into that.
Correct.
How I coped with this trauma? Is that what you're asking? Yeah, it's been tough. It has been really hard. Really, really hard. I don't want to cry. Ruin that joke. Okay. When pretending to cry, don't laugh. So, my name, my birth name, I know. Awesome to think about, being born. My birth name is Dmitry Krushnik. Okay? I know. And the thing that's weird about that is that it's also misspelled. So it's D-M-I is how it's spelled, which guaranteed, 100%, guaranteed that someone is not going to spell your name correctly if you tell them you're Dmitry. They're not going to do D-M-I. It's not going to happen. So I have to correct people every time that they're trying to spell my name. So I try to avoid that. I don't tell people my name. It's one workaround. So Dmitry Tibbins is my middle name, my birth middle name, which is, so it's Dmitry Tibbins Krushnik, which flows trippingly off the tongue. I think my parents were like, oh, how can we, like your parents were like, oh, how can we, fuck over our daughter? And my parents kind of did the same thing. Like, it's a really cumbersome mouthful of a name, but they called me Misha from day one. So my nickname was always Misha, because my mom thought that Misha was the nickname for Dmitry, which it's not. So I had this long name with a nickname that wasn't connected to the long name. And I finally decided I was just gonna, everyone called me Misha anyway, so I was sticking with Misha for my stage name. And I went with my grandmother's mother's maiden name, Collins. And because it sort of sounded better, it was a lot shorter and everybody could spell it. And then I called my dad though, because it's like a little bit of a hard thing to just tell your dad, like, hey, I'm just basically divorcing myself from you on paper. Sorry, Dad. I think I'm gonna, go by Misha Collins. And he's like, okay, all right, fine. And I said, I think I'm just gonna drop the middle name altogether. And he said, you don't have a middle name. Which made me feel better about the whole thing. I was like, oh, he really doesn't care. Can you imagine, like, your adult child and just finding out that they had a middle name. Anyway, thank you though. That was, I was wondering when someone was going to ask me that.
Hi. So I've had people mispronounce my last name so many times that I...
Oh, boo-hoo for you. How do you think I feel?
My last name is probably harder to pronounce than yours.
Spell it.
But it's spelled H-J-E-L-D-N-E-S-S. How do you think you pronounce that?
H-J-E-L-D-N-E-S-S?
Eldness.
Hieldness.
No, it's pronounced geldness.
You're wrong. You're wrong.
It helps if you know how to say your name.
Okay, so my question is,
Agree to disagree.
what is the weirdest or the funniest pronunciation of both of your last names that you've ever heard?
Angles.
Yeah, probably Akeless. Yeah, Akeless. And I always say like, oh, that's funny. So I guess what they do in football is they takeless people. Yeah, there's takeless.
There's 13 takeless.
There's 13 takeless this season. It's just tackles.
I've had Podelsky. I've had a lot of just people who are unwilling to even try.
My favorite pronunciation of your, and I forget who it was. It was some sort of a.
Was it Jen? Was it Jen?
No, it wasn't your wife. Although I'm still not convinced she knows how to say it. It was like some news reporter or something, and it was a guy, and he just gave up. He was like, so Jared Powell, where? Just no, not even gonna try to finish it. I appreciated that.
But that having been said, I also had, so this wasn't a mispronunciation, but I had like Cadillac-y, Padawacky, Padawacker. Chad Michael Murray, who is a fellow actor, who I met 17 years ago on Gilmore Girls. Y'all weren't born yet.
Yes, we were.
I saw a bunch of raised hands. I was always Padawack.
I was born, never heard of it, but I was born then.
Don't watch it. You'll see what a real man Dean can be.
I'm not sure there were men on that show. Boys, yes.
The Billmore Boys. I was always Padawacker to Chad. I wonder how he is. I gotta text him. What was your nickname?
My first name?
No, what was your nickname? Like your last name? Crazy.
I didn't really have a nickname for my last name at all.
Did no one? I guess no one even tried. Like HJ. That's 2 consonants. I'm out of here.
All right, good talk.
This question's for both of you.
That'll take a while.
I was wondering, I asked Matt this earlier today, and I was wondering if you could change your
So
name.
this is a used question. This isn't a new, fresh question. This is a question you've already asked somebody else.
Yes, it
Because
is.
you couldn't be bothered to think of a new question for us.
And I just want to know all your answers.
I'll give you a used answer. No.
If you could change your name to any other name, what would it be and why?
Osric.
Why?
What would you change your name to?
Mark Shepard. Full name. The full name. Mark Shepard.
Mark Shepard Chow. When somebody says change your name, they usually think your first name, I guess.
You know what? I didn't like my name growing up. It was a very difficult name because no one ever heard of it, you know, and kids are mean, and so I got called a lot of names.
What did you get called?
Ostrich was it's a cool bird, right? But you know, when I was a kid, I didn't I didn't even know that much about it. All I knew was
Oh, that's sad.
I mean, all you know is that the intent was cruel, right? And so it hurt. So growing up, I didn't like my name, and because every single person I meet, I'd have to repeat my name. Like, hi, I'm Osric. Like, so I repeat it. I'm like, Osric, O-S-R-I-C. So I'd say that all over and over again. You know how when you say a word over and over again, it kind of loses its sound and meaning? So when I was...
No, I never get bored of the words Mark.
Right. Well...
Mark.
Well, when I was 11, my name started sounding and looking strange to me, so I just hated it. And I
You change it?
I wanted to, but I never did. And
What's your middle name?
Don't have one.
Make it now. You gotta have one somewhere.
No, I don't.
Osric. Chow.
Osric blank Chow.
Blank.
No, there's nothing. There's nothing.
It's not blank.
Nothing.
You French?
No, there's nothing.
Blanc. That's good. Blanc Chow.
But I never did. Grade 10, English teacher told me the meaning of my name, which actually means Oz. Actually, Mark, do you know what Osric means?
I don't actually know what it means. I know the name.
Well, Oz, it's an English name. Comes from like the word divine or godly, and Rick is like king or ruler or word, and so it's awesome. So Osric actually means God's word.
No, the guy was just trying to make you feel better.
Oh, I looked it up to double
It means a
check.
small receptacle which you put used Kleenexes.
Mark, you're missing the point. It means God's word, and I became the prophet who translated God's word. Yeah. I love my name. I don't think I would change it at this point.
Like Kevin. Kevin the prophet. Kevin. Did you like Kevin as a name?
I got used to it. I got, people
still
say,
call you Kevin?
Yeah, people
Is
still
it
call me
Kevin
Kevin,
Rosen?
and I still turn. Like, I've learned to answer to, like, every name, because I got, like, 20 different nicknames as well.
Like what?
Yeah, sorry?
What nickname?
See? I'll answer everything. Like, anything. like Chow, Oz, Rick. Yeah, sorry? I'll pretty much answer to everything.
Basically, anybody says
Yeah.
anything to you, you just answer.
Exactly.
You're the opposite of me.
Yeah.
You're the opposite of me.
Yeah.
I answer nothing.
I think I am the opposite of you.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Go. What's your question?
Hello. Hi. I was wondering if you guys were boys, what would you want your names to be?
When I was young and I tell people that my name is Brianna, they'd go, "Did your mom think you were going to be a boy?" And I was like, "Go fuck yourself."
Oh, I get it now. I was like, what?
Such a weird thing to say to a
Like
little
she had
kid.
chosen Brian and then
like,
you were a girl?
I'm tired. Which probably was.
Brianna. Well, people thought I was a boy when I was little because I was bald and really fat. And my mom, like I had no hair for like 2 years, I think. And my mom would tape bows to my head.
So people knew you were a girl?
So she could stop, like she just got tired of correcting them.
Hysterical.
But if I was a boy, I was supposed to be named Douglas Coulter, which I kind of like that.
I think my mom knew that I was going to be a girl, so I didn't know I knew a bunch of names that she was like thinking of giving to me. And when I was little, she had like a book of going, this is the girls' names I'm going to give her, and she chose Brianna. But the other names, when I was little, I was like, I could have been Victoria?
Well, how did you choose your daughter's name?
We were actually going to name her something else up until I was about 8 months pregnant, and we were suddenly like, I said to my husband, I was like, I don't like this name anymore. He's like, oh my God, me neither. I'm like, oh phew, thank God we brought that out in the open. But then I had seen Valentina somewhere, in the abyss of thinking of name or looking at names, and she has my husband's last name, and he's Mexican, so we needed something that had kind of a flair to it. We didn't want to name her like, Susan Rosales Lopez, Nothing wrong with that, but just didn't have quite the same flow. So we're pretty happy with her name anyway.
That's awesome.
Thanks, man. And thank you for your question.
Hi. Jared.
I wondered how you feel when people mispronounce your surname for like the millionth time.
I think it's totally normal to mispronounce. I don't take offense at all. I'm really proud. I remember there was some discussions, when you become an actor, a lot of people kind of have discussions of whether you should be named something else, something that sounds more whitewashed, something that sounds more agreeable. And I guess I was lucky enough to be surrounded by people who were okay with me being me. And I think Padalecki is weird. It's a weird name. But it's me. And I'm proud to be me. And it's different. Yeah. And thank you. And I'd rather be a failed actor, but be Jared Padalecki than be a successful actor and be Jared Johnson or something. You know, I'd rather just be myself. Because when you go to bed at night and you're laying in bed, you have to be happy with who you are. Because you were born the way you're born with the name you're born, and you are who you are. And it's about being happy with who you are and figuring out there are more important things in life. You know, this is just what people call me. It's not my soul, it's not who I am, so I'm happy to be Jared Weird Name.
My question is, in the Supernatural episode, The French Mistake, there is a moment when Dean says that Jensen and Misha are strange names. Now, I just want to know if you like your name, and what is your favorite name, if you have one?
I don't know that I have a favorite name. There's a few names in the world, yeah, I like my name. I like it. It's unique. I haven't met a whole lot of Jensens before. I've met a few, but it wasn't until way later in life. For the longest time, probably until I was about 18 years old, I'd never even heard of another Jensen. And I'd say growing up, it was a little difficult, just because people were like, "Wait, well, what? Jason? Justin? Who?" So, growing up, it was, there were some moments, and I was like, ugh, it's Jensen. Jenson? No, not Jenson. Never mind, just call me Justin. So, a lot of times when you, like, if you go to a coffee shop or something, and they're like, okay, and what's your name? And they ask your name, I never say Jensen. I always say Jay. I just give them Jay. Because it's easy, and I know that they won't be like, wait, what? How do you spell that? But yeah, I do like the name, and it's it's unique, and it's original, and it's my name. It's me. Thank you.